Alright lads, I am at Jeremy Clarkson's pub to try his new Hawkstone stout. The pub is called the Farmer's Dog. Don't even ask me where it is. It's in the middle of absolutely nowhere. I need to get one more bus. Just off the last bus, we have made it. I am in the middle of absolutely Timbuktu, and I'll be totally honest, complete transparency, I wasn't aware that they had brought out a stout. The Hawkstone Instagram sent me a message saying, come to the Farmer's Dog, try the Hawkstone stout. They also offered to like cover transport and stuff. I thought that was very nice of them, but I thought, me being a man of the people, as you very well know, I just wanted to make my own way. We are here at the Farmer's Dog and I am ready for some stout. Right lads, so just before we go in, I'm going to show you behind is this big massive tent. It's got like a very much a festival vibe. They've got like pasties, they've got a diddly squat, that's the name of the farm, diddly squat farm shop. They've got kind of pints available in plastic cups, but it is outside, so you can't really blame them. And then this big area, which I would imagine is absolutely heaving on a nice summer's day. Just before we go in to try the Hawkstone stout, I just want to give a massive shout out to my good friends over at Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Lads, when I tell you this place was a pain in the arse to get to and not cheap, with the flyover to London, tube, train, bus, it all adds up. The business account has taken a hit today, but thank you to Manscaped for your kind sponsorship and support over the last few years. Lads, Christmas is coming up, let's face it, there's no more denying it. It's coming, and the perfect gift for that hairy ape in your life, whether it's your brother, your mother, your uncle, your weird cousin, they need to be sorted out with a package from Manscaped, and the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is your only man. You got the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra with the advanced skin-safe technology. You got the Weed Whacker, gets in those hard-to-reach areas. All the little extra goodies thrown in will really help to give you a smooth finish. So go to manscaped.com, use my code PINTS20 for 20% off plus free shipping for the perfect gift this Christmas. Now let's try some stout.
And then it sort of tailed the... Yeah, it's been fun. It's impossible to not get bubbles on there.
Nice one, mate.
I'm trying.
Right lads, here we go. I have to be honest, it doesn't look great. It was, I'm gonna put the price on the screen, £6.50 or something. I was gonna say not a bad price. I don't know, we're obviously in the middle of nowhere, so it's probably expensive for the area, but for London, that would be probably average. But I have to say, like, it doesn't look great. And I can't even pretend that it looks great. Like, there's millions of bubbles in the head. It does not look thick, rich and creamy. Look, I can only judge what's been put in front of me. And also, the pub did reach out. I wasn't aware of this stout. The pub reached out, or Hawkstone reached out on Instagram and said, come try our new stout at the Farmer's Dog. Glass just does not look aesthetically pleasing at all. They're obviously not cleaning it as I would like them to clean it. Listen, we'll have a sip, sláinte. I mean, it's fine as expected, not very creamy. A little bit of a sort of like taste of the kind of craft stouts that I've tasted before. Decent kind of coffee notes to it, and not a whole lot else. The bubbles are kind of going away as it goes down, but like, it's all about presentation. Jeremy, it's all about presentation. That's why Guinness is so popular, because these people who own these pubs are so obsessed with the presentation, the clean glass, the no bubbles in the head. And then like, the pub is absolutely heaving in there. It's 12:20, it's just opened. There's definitely, you can't say like the pints aren't flowing right or anything, but if I had to guess, I would just imagine that the love and care and like fascination and obsession that goes into Guinness in pubs in Ireland or even in Irish pubs abroad. It just hasn't gone into this product. It just feels like they've just, and look, again, I don't want to feel like a prick saying this, but I just have to be honest. It just kind of feels like they just said, look, we have a lager, I'm sure it's doing well. Next step, let's release a stout. And probably not a whole lot of care gone into actually how it's going to be presented. Sorry about the kid in the background. Of how it's going to be presented in the bar. But the main thing to say about this is, it doesn't matter how good or bad this is. This pub is going to be packed night and day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year if they choose to. And it doesn't matter if the stout isn't as good as Guinness. Some good things about it, I like the glass. The taste is fine. The head tastes decent. It doesn't look anyway sour or anything. It is fresh, but it's just the two big things. A lot of bubbles in the head, which make it a lot less creamy. And then the presentation of the glass, you can tell, you don't need me to tell you that, just not great. Now the product, I've always said, like, the product is only a couple of months old. If I come back here in a year's time, will it have improved? Maybe, maybe not. But I just don't think, and my point is, like, why would they care and be obsessed about their stout like an Irish pub would be? Because they know they're gonna sell absolute barrels of the stuff in here. And even if they don't sell barrels of it, it's not the end of the world. Like, Jeremy Clarkson just seems like he just obviously has made millions, and in a good way is just up for kind of expanding into whatever. So it's like, make a pub, make a lager, fuck, come on, we make a stout, why not? And I commend him and his team, or the pub, for that. But stout is unfortunately the type of thing where you can't just kind of whip it up and serve it out. You do have to be very much obsessed with it to get a really good pint from. And like, for some weirdo like me who goes around rating it, to give it a good score. So yeah, it's not great. Presentation not great. But at the end of the day, they don't need it to be great. Slight beamish taste to it, a little bit kind of roasted, slightly more roasted than the Guinness, but shtick isn't bad. Taste is all right. The taste is there. It's just the presentation and everything else that probably needs to be upped a little bit in the standard department. But again, it's only a 3-month-old product, if even that. Right, so I've been trying to sweeten me up a little bit by bringing me out a little freebie sausage roll. It looks like an absolute beast. It's probably gone cold. I was chatting to the young lad who brought it out, who's working here for about 10 minutes. So anyway, that looks like there's no shortage of meat in there. There's some protein in this thing. Right, now I've got a pint of the Hawkstone lager. This is just there, I presume, the first kind of thing that kicked it all off. That was probably, I don't know what came first, the lager or the pub. I would imagine the lager. This is kind of their bread and butter sláinte. That's a good beer, that. It's extremely fizzy. You can see a shit ton of bubbles making their way up to the top. Yeah, very, very fizzy. Probably very gassy. I'm gonna burp like mad now, but a good drop. So I chose to sit outside for two reasons. Reason one, nice light coming in, but the reason there's not many other people out here, you'd swear the place was dead. You'd be like, Jeremy Clarkson's pub has no patrons, there's no customers coming. You couldn't be more wrong. The place is absolutely heaving inside. I got here at 12:20. It was the earliest I could get here, but it's literally like 1 degree out here. Got here 20 minutes after opening time. Car park full. Sorry, I am burping so much because of that sausage roll and the stout and now this beer. But the effect, the Jeremy Clarkson effect. I was saying to the young lad who brought me out the sausage roll, I was like, I honestly don't know if there's another person in Britain who could have this effect. Like, obviously Clarkson started, some of you might know, like I only really knew I'd heard about it, but I only started watching a couple of episodes of it like a couple of months ago, the Clarkson's farm thing. So if you're watching this going, Jeremy Clarkson, well, yeah, Top Gear, why is the pub so popular? Obviously the Top Gear, we all know that whatever, he got sacked from, was it the BBC for punching some fella? Then they kind of did a spin, their own, the three lads, Clarkson, James May, Richard Hammond, got together and did a thing called the Grand Tour. Now I'm not really a car person, so I didn't really watch it, but that was huge apparently. In the meantime, Clarkson started a show called Clarkson's Farm, which I watched a few episodes of, very entertaining. And that farm is only a few miles down the road, I think. It was a very entertaining show, and he really showed a sort of, I don't know, kind of hearty, wholesome side of himself. Brought out the Hawkstone brand, first up the Hawkstone Lager, which is this. And I guess all of that kind of bundled up together gave him this persona as this kind of good, wholesome British farming man. And then it was like the perfect opportunity to open this pub, and the Clarkson effect is real. Oh my God, I did not realize how, like I had seen a couple of other YouTube people coming and reviewing the place, so I knew to expect it to be busy. And the lads inside were like, this isn't even a busy day. It's a fucking Wednesday, lads. It's a Wednesday at 12:30 in the middle of, I can't stress enough how in the middle of fucking nowhere this place is. And it's packed. So people are obviously traveling far and wide to come here. And it's got you saw the shots I took. That's just the pub. You've got the big massive outdoor tent, which is like something you'd see at a festival. They're selling the beers, they're selling all these different pasties and pies, and they have a pub out there themselves, plastic cup job, proper festival vibes. They've got the whole field there with all of the benches and all. I'd imagine on a summer's day, on like a Saturday or Sunday, it's just totally crazy here. Regardless of how good or bad the stout is, this place is seriously, seriously impressive. All I can say is the Clarkson effect is real. Right lads, I will say bon voyage with the beautiful farmland, Clarkson country in the background. So to sum it up, the stout, not so great, but look, it's in its infancy. If I come back in a year's time, I'm sure it will have improved. And even if it doesn't, this place is absolutely rammed from midday to, I'm sure, midnight and beyond, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It really is a credit to Jeremy Clarkson and how much the country folk around here and just people all over Britain and beyond, a fantastic pub, a nice beer, a nice sausage roll. Stout has work to do. Over and out. We'll see you in the next one.